Hello and welcome to the Ice Guys. This is the show that takes you into the world of the National Hockey League. Every game, every day, from a betting perspective. With pro sports handicappers, Ian Cameron, Alex B. Smith, and various guests from the world of hockey and sports betting. And now, here's your host, Ian Cameron.
Welcome to the Ice Guys, Monday, October 20th. Ian Cameron, Alex B. Smith, Perlo with you, ready to break down the Monday NHL card. We're going to zip through the show today on this Monday, of course, with the delayed start time for the college football show that I do on Mondays. So we'll go through this one in rapid fire fashion. I'm just going to do a couple of very brief points on yesterday. Detroit, thumbs up to them. Another nice win for the Red Wings as they keep rolling. They haven't lost since that bad first game against Montreal. They beat Edmonton yesterday. Vancouver, Washington, nice win too for the Canucks. Yeah, leaking oil late, but they hung on for a 4-3 win. Very unfortunate incident there with Philip Hedl with that hit from Tom Wilson yesterday in the game. That being said, I've seen much worse, and it was just an unfortunate result. I've seen dirtier, uglier hits than that, so I'm not surprised it wasn't given a 5-minute penalty there. It's just unfortunate because Philip Hedl just keeps getting hurt, keeps getting injured. It's just unfortunate to see that happen, but Vancouver with a nice win, Detroit with a nice win. We saw in the late night hours, Utah. Not a bad effort from Boston in a tough spot, but they still fall 3-2 to Utah. And then Anaheim, Chicago, really great game. What a great goaltending duel it was. Lukas Dostal and Spencer Knight going toe-to-toe in that game. Back and forth it went. Chicago took the lead with the Frank Nazar goal. Another wonderful moment for Alex in the bargain bin with the first goal of the game from Frank the Tank Nazar. Anaheim ties it. Nothing he could have done, Spencer Knight, about it in the final minute. And it looked like, Chicago going to have some overtime shootout issues again like they did against Vancouver. But nope, that did not happen. They win it in overtime. Donato's Pizza cleaning up the loose change in front of the net. And the Blackhawks, and even though it was a low-scoring game, much to my chagrin being on the over, it was a very, very entertaining game. And Chicago with a 2-1 overtime win last night against Anaheim. Alex, your thoughts on what we saw Sunday?
I mean, we could start with Chicago and Anaheim and Frank Nazar getting the first goal. I've personally made 27 units on Frank Nazar this month. With all the props that I've had, with the first goal hitting twice.
He's single-handedly going to make you profitable this season, yeah.
It's been insane. just riding him alone with these bargain bin props and just him just producing even just goal score. I had plus 235 anytime goal as well with him last night. So it's just been wonderful. Like I said, I will be getting his jersey. You will be seeing me wearing number 91 at some point during this season on this program. But it was just a fantastic game, and shout out to Mikey in our group chat. At the same time, me and him both go. We changed goalies, but I said I didn't realize Guy Bear and Eddie Belfour were in net tonight. He goes, I didn't realize J.S. Jaguar and Eddie Belfour were in net tonight because it looked like a game from honestly the 90s or the 2000s. It was funny the timing on that, but the just quality defense and to see the Hawks continuing to play stronger defense, a blue line that had looked like a bunch of question marks, whether they were just young guys still trying to get their feet wet in the league or older guys who seemed that they were past their prime. They all have now collectively played well. Connor Murphy looks halfway decent in a third pairing role. And when you have a Spencer Knight, like I said, it changes the dynamic. And even with Soderblom playing well as his backup role, you just see more confidence with the defense, knowing that they have the goalies in that. You see confidence in the goalies, knowing that the defense is playing better. It's something that you haven't seen from this Hawks team, honestly, since the end of the Showtime dynasty. And how fitting for it to be a 2-1 game and Q's return back. That's the kind of game he would have wanted the Hawks to play 15 years ago, 16 years ago. And the fact that he has Anaheim playing a much tighter structured defense, and they don't seem to be laboring in doing it. Where with Cronin, it seemed like, they were kind of, having to really exert themselves to play hard both ways. Now it seems like that grinding from Cronin has now made it easier to deal with Q's system. So that's the takeaway I got from those two teams. Those are teams that are getting better and younger teams that are playing much better defense than what you saw the last couple of years from them. So that was the game I watched all the way through. That's the game I really have the most takeaways from. So kind
It
of
was a
move
great
on.
game. It was a great, yeah, 2-1, but it was a great game. Like I said, you don't need goals for it to be a great game all the time, and that game was proof of it for sure. Perlo, good to have you back. Your thoughts on yesterday?
My best bet yesterday was Detroit, and Alex said about all you can about that Chicago. But one thing I got to say about Cronin, I want to give a little bit of ups to him. I think he's going to be a great coach, but he's got to learn how to work with his players. He's got a great system, but unfortunately, he's a kind of coach, or at this point, he's used to telling players what to do. You can't do that in the NHL. You got to work with them, make you believe you. And that wasn't happening in Anaheim. He was kind of treating them like college guys, and it just doesn't work out that way. But I'm going to go real quick because I know we're in a hurry. But Podkolzin, Roslovic, Frederick, Philip, Kapanen, Howard, Savoy. Does that sound like an NHL playoff team to you?
It could be at some point, but so far, no. From what I've seen,
no. Those are all of those players I just said. If you put them on St. Louis, first of all, Savoy and Howard wouldn't even be in that. Would they be in the minors where they're supposed to be? And Podkolzin, Roslovic, these are fourth line guys, and they're playing them up on the second pair. And I was saying this last year. They were so fortunate. I looked over the summer too. They were so fortunate that they had a high shooting percentage from these guys, or they don't make the finals last year. They shouldn't have beat LA. This is an overvalued team. I'll be betting against them. And I don't think this Edmonton Oilers team, as it's constructed right now, is going to be able to do what they usually do. I think this is a problem. I didn't bet it this year. I'm going to wait till they win a couple games, but I don't even think I can because that division is so bad. The Oilers will probably make it. But I might bet Oilers to make the playoffs and lose in the first round, though. I'm definitely going that way. This team has no depth. I said before that McDavid wasn't going to sign. Unfortunately, I think he went with his legacy. If he wanted to leave knowing he could do everything he did, I think he's crazy for doing so. But he did, and so that's the way it is. But this is what you get because this lineup, they got 1 year, tons of cap space next year. If they can't get it done, McDavid's gone. That's all I got to say about that. But I love that Detroit pick yesterday. That was my best bet.
All right, there we have it. All right, we'll work our way into Monday's card. We've got 5 games tonight in NHL action. We will begin with Minnesota and the New York Rangers. Rangers minus 150, home favorites, 5.5 the total here in this game. I'm not going to belabor you because this is the game that very, very tough for me to want to back either side at this price and number. I'm not taking Minnesota in their current form. I mean, this has been rough here these last few games. Can't score, can't generate shots, can't generate chances, don't have the puck enough. You know, that's been the issue lately for Minnesota, especially at 5-on-5. All of a sudden, the power play's dried up, and now that power play's dried up a bit, they're really having a hard time putting the puck in the net at 5-on-5. So I don't want to back Minnesota, but I'm not laying minus 150 with a team that hasn't scored a damn goal on home ice this year. So maybe an under, low scoring, maybe. You get that here in this game. But I did bet something in this game, the draw. I think we got overtime, a game that's got maybe overtime written all over it. It's been a draw series history of extreme strength. 4 of the last 5 meetings have gone past regulation between the Wild and the Rangers. That's right. 4 of the last 5 head-to-heads have gone past regulation in the series. So that's my one and only bet here, a draw at plus 320 in this one. Alex, Wild Rangers.
Yeah, when I looked at that, I did end up adding the draw plus 320. But the plays that I like the most, I believe the Rangers break this streak tonight. I believe they get a goal at home. I think they do it early. So I like Rangers to score the first goal in the first period. I got plus 115 earlier. There's plus 110s now available at FanDuel and MGM. FanDuel was not open earlier this morning for issues going on around the world. But now everything's back and running. So plus 110 to plus 115, you can get that price. First goal in first period with the Rangers. I will also be adding draw plus 320. And I have to take it since I have a draw in a Wild game. It hasn't hit yet, and I'll be mad if I don't get it now. Matt Boldy to score the game winner. So this is a smaller bet. But Matt Boldy, not anytime goal scorer, but Matt Boldy just to get the game to reach overtime and overtime goal scorer, 55-1 is the price available from FanDuel.
Never deterred, always bound and determined, Alex P.
Yeah.
Smith, and eventually to get that in the bank with Boldy there with that overtime game winner prop. What do you think here in this one, Perlo, Minnesota, New York?
Yeah, for all the reasons you do, it's hard to go on a side here. One thing I will say, though, is when a team gets their goal scoring going like they did in the third period against Montreal, that usually continues the next game. So I'm with Alex on Rangers goal in the first period, and I got a little bit on the puck line first period as well. I just don't think Minnesota is going to figure things out right away here. I think they will figure it out. What I think is going on with Minnesota is they were without Kaprizov and Ek all year last year, and I think they're kind of taking like that exhale where like, okay, we got him back, and then they forgot to play too on top of it. That usually happens during the season when you get a big players like that, but this seems to be happening in the beginning of this season. Does it change here against New York? I mean, I'm not going to try to bet on a falling knife, but I will take the Rangers first period. I definitely have the draw, like you said. It's just been a series draw. I think both teams would be happy with the draw in this game. The Rangers just want to get a point, so I do like that. So if I do like that, I also am going to look, and I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I'm going to look at 2-2 correct score going in, and 2-2 correct score. I'm also going to take a look. I also have the under 1.5 first period in this game, and I'm going to bet it live, but I'm going to look at Minnesota team total under, especially if they maybe after they score one, if they happen to score one, something like that. I just want to see what they come out like this in this game. Like the first 3 minutes will tell me I'm going to lose a little bit of money on it. But if this is the game where they go, oh yeah, we got to play, then I'm going to lose that team. I might lose that team total under. But if they come out flat again in the first period, I'll probably bet it.
All right, good stuff. Seattle and Philadelphia. We've got the Flyers minus 135 home favorites, 5.5 the total in this game. It's getting a little bit ominous to this bettor at the very least that we have not had a confirmed goalie yet for Seattle. Mm-hmm. And the fact that it's been this late, we don't have Joey Decord for sure confirmed in net, especially the way he's played this year and coming off the win against Toronto for the Seattle Kraken on Saturday night. It makes me think maybe Lane Lambert's opening the door to give Grubauer the start tonight. I'm not saying for sure, but we've gone this far and we don't have a Joey Decord confirmation yet in net. It will be Dan Vladar for Philadelphia, which is very interesting because this is the first time that Rick Tocchet is deviating from his alternation of his goalies between Vladar and Ersson. He's now choosing to give Dan Vladar here a second straight start following his solid performance and victory over the Minnesota Wild the other night, 2-1 in overtime. We'll see how this one plays out. By the way, if you didn't see it, every fight gets posted on YouTube. Hockey Fights, is a great social media follow. Watch that fight between Foligno and Delorier the other night in the Wild Flyers game. It was a great scrap between two of my favorites as far as dropping the gloves and people and players in the league, those two. It was a great fight. So I'm waiting on the goalie confirmation because there's a chance I move on the Flyers here in some form if it gets confirmed that Grubauer's in net. I like what I'm seeing from Rick Tocchet's group. I lean Flyers anyway. This is when the miles start to pile up. It's that first long road trip of the season for Seattle, Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto, in those games. And now, of course, no Brandon Montour either, Freddie Gaudreau, Riker Evans. There's a few Capo Caco. There's a few injuries here on the Seattle side of the equation here as well, building up. So make sure you keep an eye on that. Now, the only concern here is Seattle won both meetings last year versus Philadelphia. Actually took both meetings in the series. No question about that. But I get that sneaking suspicion. Grubauer's in net could open the door here for the Philadelphia Flyers. So I'm leaning Philadelphia, but I'm waiting to see what the goalie confirmation is. This is another draw for me, and I didn't plan it this way. But how do you not take the draw right now with Seattle, just an overtime magnet? 4 straight Kraken games have gone beyond 60 minutes. Vegas, Montreal, and all 3 games on this road trip, plus the final game of their homestand against Vegas. So 4 straight Seattle games have gone past regulation. We've seen 2 of the last 4 for Philly go past regulation. So this is another one where, again, we've got these 2 draw bets here in these first 2 games for me. One of them hits, we're gold. If both of them hits, holy mackerel, that's some profit right there. So draw for me once again. I'll add Philly if Grubauer's in. Not C-Mac. Just saw C-Mac for 3 hours. Enough of that guy. Alex, Seattle, Philadelphia.
It has to run all together when you're doing 4 hours. Yeah, this is like I said, the darlings of draw season so far have been the Seattle Kraken. Draw season merch, of course, is available at iceguys.myspreadshop.com. Definitely want to take advantage of that. So let's hit a draw. Let's also go with Sean Couturier to get the game winner for Philly, 75-1. The price available with that, and then if that hits, you can buy yourself some draw season merch. So it's draw plus 320, and Sean Couturier to get the winner for the Flyers, 75-1.
Yeah, I like it. There you go. And I like the suggestion there. Get some merch with the winning profit from it. Absolutely, no question. All right, Perlo, anything here for you? Seattle, Philly.
Well, my first best bet came in because my first bet was myself for you saying I didn't plan it this way. That's what. Because I knew it was draw, and every time you do 2 draws in a row, you say, I don't plan. I didn't.
And it just so happened they're the top of the rotation. These 2
yeah,
games.
exactly. I know, but you always
games
say
I'm on the draw tonight. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm on the draw on this one, of course, as well. 2 teams from different conferences. Even if Grubauer is in, and I think he will be in, I even like to draw more, actually, because Seattle will definitely be playing that type of game to get a draw. Also, they're playing Washington tomorrow, so for them to get a point here would be freaking magical for them. They would be happy as heck to get a point, because tomorrow is a waste game for Seattle, but we can get into that tomorrow, or at least you guys can. One thing I do like about this game, especially if Grubauer is in, and this is both of these teams are second period scoring teams. Flyers don't really usually score much in the first period. Seattle, not so much, but they score a lot in the second period. And you can get over 2 in the second period at plus 145. Now, the caveat to that is Grubauer is in, and I think he is. So if he is, be watching and I'll take the over 2 on that. As far as a little prop here. It's funny you mentioned Couturier. For scoring is great, but he has been getting assists a lot. Also Tippett I like for a goal. So I like Couturier for an assist, Tippett for a goal at plus 650, I believe that is. And I also like Couturier for assist and Sanheim for assist. Now that's the plus 650. Sanheim, basically, if Philadelphia is scoring, he gets an assist. Take it by itself if you want. Couturier right now is as well. Both of them seem to get assists every single game. So you can get that at plus 65, plus 650. Now, since I like the draw, I do like Kraken plus 1.5. And both teams to score 2 goals if Grubauer is in. I think there's going to be scoring on both sides. You can get that at plus 105. I also like the over in this game. I think, especially if Grubauer is in, I think Seattle will chase. Philly will get theirs with Grubauer in. Seattle won't give up in a game. They've shown that over and over again. This team has got heart. They play with depth. They don't kill their guys because they're playing 4 lines. So they may run out of legs, but they have a lot of energy because they can play 4 lines. So I think you'll see overs either way, or I think you'll see an over, and I think you'll see both teams to score. But Kraken plus 1.5, since we like to draw, they're probably going to, if they do lose, it'll be by 1. And over 5.5 is plus 180. I really like that.
Yeah, there are a bunch of bets that are going to get triggered for me in this game if Grubauer's in. I'll probably do it. The Philly money line team total over split for the Flyers, and then maybe I'll add the over 5.5. Because I will say this, on this road trip, talked about how Seattle was airtight defensively at home and low and slow. All 3 games on this road trip have gone over the total for the Seattle Kraken. The Montreal, Ottawa, and Toronto games. So we'll add the over if Grubauer's in. And by the way, as far as props, I like the Mishkov look, 100%. I like the Mishkov look, the fact that, or not the Mishkov look, the Zegras look. potentially moving up to that unit with Mishkov. Noah Cates, someone to keep an eye on. He's been starting to percolate a little bit for Philly. And then on the Seattle side of the equation, very interesting. And I like taking a shot with him here. There's some injuries, obviously, up front. McCann is out. Gaudreau, Kakko, Montour on the blue line. Making his NHL debut tonight for Seattle. 8th overall pick in 2024. And because of injuries, it's necessitated him getting a look. But not only is he going to make his NHL debut, Lane Lambert's going to put him right into the top line immediately with Matty Beniers and Jordan Eberle. Berkeley Catton is going to make his NHL debut tonight, and great value, plus 480 for him to score a goal tonight. So worth a look there, in my opinion, for sure, no question. All right,
one more for you, because it won't be my bargain bin, but Nyman's going up on the third line too, and he's playing with Wright. And I just love that guy. And I just
Yanni Newman.
He might
Newman, like Jerry Seinfeld did. Yeah, back in the for Seinfeld. Yeah, that's why I always do that. Newman. Yeah, when it's
is it Newman or Nyman? Newman.
It's right? Newman. It's actually Newman. It is Newman.
Okay, it's Newman. Okay, another Newman to say over and over again.
Yep. All right. Buffalo, Montreal. We've got Montreal minus 150 home favorites. 6 the total here in this game. Sabres and Habs. Jakub Dobeš in net. And we have talked so much about, now it took a while for that first goal to go in against him, because I think that was the Nashville game, right? And Nashville did get the first goal against Dobeš. It took until the second period for it to happen, but he did give up the first goal again. And we've talked about how often that has happened. And the fact that Buffalo's taking to the road here in Montreal off, confidence building wins back to back against Ottawa and the defending champions, the Florida Panthers. That's a springboard maybe into tonight, that they'll come out skating, they'll come out flying, maybe get on the board early. So I actually buy into Buffalo getting on the board with the first goal. So I'm going to take that tonight. Buffalo to score the first goal in this game at a nice plus price. Maybe look to bet Montreal live should they give up the first goal, because no lead is ever safe. With the Buffalo Sabres, even though they've played better in their last couple games. Alex Lyon was outstanding against Florida in the shutout win. I think part of that, though, if you're being honest, is he was all, psyched up, all excited and all amped up to play his old team, the Florida Panthers. That played a role in it. But he was very good. He's a steadying force, with all kinds of a tumultuous goalie situation right now for Buffalo. He stepped up. He'll probably be in net, although it hasn't been confirmed yet. Montreal will have Dobeš. No Kirby Dach, no Caden Gooley, no Patrick Lyonnais. So status quo. Same players out for Montreal that missed the game against the New York Rangers on Saturday as well. So that's really what I'm looking at here. Buffalo to score the first goal, and a live bet on Montreal as well here in this one. Alex, what do you think here? Sabres, Habs.
I'm getting a little greedy with it. I'm going to go Buffalo to score the first goal at even money, and then Buffalo to score the first goal in the first period, plus 130. I read both of those. If I cash them both, I will also be looking for Montreal live on the money line.
All right, there you go. Perlo, Buffalo, Montreal.
Yeah, I'm on the same wavelength as you. The other thing here is Montreal is on
Perlo special. Buffalo first period goal, Montreal second period goal.
That actually, thanks for telling me that. That was on the card here. That was something that I was going to do. That is one of my bets for sure. So we'll go the Perlo special for sure. The first goal. Okay, Stone has Josh Stone has put this team on his back. Remember, I said this. It's not anybody but him. This guy has really stepped up for the Buffalo Sabres.
It's his friendship with Matt and Ryan Robinson. That's truly what's made him the player he is. Yeah, truly. Yeah.
Yeah. And when they made this trade, I was like slammed for saying, you're going to be surprised. I think this was actually a good trade for Buffalo. Too bad the other piece is injured right now. But I like Doan to score a goal. I like what you got. I like the Buffalo plays that you said for sure. And I like Doan to score the first goal here. And you can get that at like plus 4,000, I think it is right now. So it's a big one. So I like Doan to score the first goal. I like him to get assists. What else do I like? I like the over first period here too. I think Montreal might wake up or both teams to score there. I'm throwing a little bit on that. And overall, I think you're just going to see goals in general. So I do like the over 6 as well. But first period puck line and first period money line for Buffalo, I think it's a big. I think Buffalo actually wins this game altogether. I have a very little bit on Buffalo to win, period. But the reason why I add that is it's a system play. At home, Montreal has won 3 in a row, and then they lose a big game against the Rangers. And now they're going on the road to the West after this too. They got 1 foot out the door. They're coming in a little shaken, maybe less confident than they usually are. Buffalo's coming off highs. Crazy things happen that way. They're coming off of a high. They're on a low. They're on their way out. It's time to go. I see Buffalo probably winning this game as well. I don't have a huge amount on it because, well, it's Buffalo. That's why. I don't like to bet on Buffalo. It's like with the last Islanders win, I really held my nose and took it. I'm sort of holding my nose and taking this one too.
Yeah, I'm with you on Josh Doan props. I like Zach Benson as well for Buffalo here tonight as far as props. Our guy too, you not seen nothing like the mighty Jack Quinn. I'm pretty sure Jack Quinn has scored multiple times against Montreal off the top of my head. So keep an eye on Jack Quinn. We know he's got a good release and a good shot. So could be something worth looking at there. Then on the
number,
go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to say the number for Doan first goal is 18 plus 1800, 18-1 at FanDuel.
1800. Oh yeah, that was first. That was overtime goal. I was thinking about. Yeah. That wouldn't be a bad play actually. I could see another draw on this one too, and Doan for an overtime goal. I'll just put it out there. I'm going to bet it.
And plus 121 for Buffalo to get a goal in the first period, Montreal to get a goal in the second period. If you want to combine those.
Yeah.
Plus 121.
Oh, I forgot to mention that because he already mentioned it. Yeah, plus 121 for that.
No doubt. Kapanen maybe for Montreal. Alex has mentioned him. Although Josh Anderson's getting bumped with Evans and Gallagher. It looks like could be a new look line tonight. So keep an eye on them. I think in particular, there could be some value there. I might look at a small goal prop on Josh Anderson tonight up there on the second line for Montreal here tonight in this game. All right, Winnipeg and Calgary. We've got the Jets minus 150 road favorites, 5.5 the total in this one. Hellebuck and Dustin Wolf confirmed in net. Hungry like the wolf, although our guy is scuffling a little bit, leaking oil here early in the season. Although it doesn't help. He's got a horseshit blue line horseshit right now in front of him. It's been a real rough go for this Calgary Blue. Like I said, outside of Weegar and Anderson, there's a lot of holes, a lot of weakness in that Calgary blue line. And then you couple that with the fact that they're not scoring, and that's just a death nail for Calgary. You can't be scoring just 1 or 2 goals and expect to win. And that's the issue right now with the Flames. There's nothing right with their game. You know, they're not scoring goals. They've scored 2 or less in 5 straight games. Dustin Wolf is not playing up to the level he's capable of, combined with a D that's struggling, and that's why Calgary's in an absolute malaise right now. 1-5 going into this game tonight against Winnipeg. Winnipeg's won 4 in a row since losing that opener against Dallas. 4 straight wins for Winnipeg, and they've given up 2 goals or fewer in all 4 of those wins. One thing that's interesting here with Winnipeg is that they've won 3 of the last 4 against Calgary, and in the 2 of the 3 wins, they held Calgary to 2 goals or fewer. We'll see if that carries over here. Again, it's just a lot of issues at the moment right now with the Calgary Flames. There's not one element of their game that's playing, at a level that's going to give them a chance for success, at this point in time. So one thing that's interesting is that Winnipeg, and I'm not a big expected goals person, but Winnipeg is actually dead last in expected goals for, even though they've been winning and scoring goals. So they've obviously got crazy high shooting percentage so far, which has helped, but they shouldn't be scoring nearly as much as they have so far. So this has the makings to me of it could be an under. It could be one of these like 3-1, 4-1 type of games here for Winnipeg. I mean, I don't want to lay minus 150 with Winnipeg, but I don't want Calgary right now in their current form. So I think I might come back to just cash to get with Nashville, team total under against Winnipeg Saturday. Calgary team total under 2.5. When Winnipeg wins, it's amazing how often they keep the other team 2 goals or less. So under 2.5 for Calgary team total at plus money. I could see that. Or you could go full game under as far as that goes. So, and I think Alex might have one thing he's talked about with Winnipeg, if he likes Winnipeg, he likes doing the money line and under parlay. Is he thinking of that maybe tonight? We'll see. But Alex, what do you think? Jets, Flames.
Yeah, it's a great segue. It's exactly what I was looking at. And like I said, when you see Winnipeg, their record with keeping opponents to 2 goals or fewer in victories, and you combine that with how Calgary has looked, and this is a Calgary spot where we talk about this all the time. When you give up goals and when you look bad defensively, you turn around and want to shut things down and really clamp down defensively. I'm sure Wolf's going to want to have a better outing. That blue line is going to want to have as best of it out as they can. The red traffic cones, as I like to call them. But it could be a point where they're so defensive it takes away from their offense. And you can't afford to do that with a Winnipeg team. Winnipeg only needs 2 or 3 goals to bury us. So I'm going with Jets money line tied to the under 6.5, and I got plus 170 with that. I also do have one Calgary player to score. That's Blake Coleman. I grabbed him plus 400 anytime goal. Just a small play, kind of a one of those things where he had some chances, didn't get that first goal in the Calgary-Vegas game. I feel like he may get on the board. He may be, if anybody's going to get on the board for Calgary, I think Coleman would be the guy to do it.
A little Blake Coleman here for Calgary, trying to get this someone trying to get this team going a little bit offensively. We'll see if Blake Coleman can do that for them here tonight. Perlo, what do you think? Winnipeg, Calgary.
Oh, all over that with you with the Flames team total under. I do think the Jets will eventually pull this one out. Flames always get up for the Jets though, so it's not going to be an easy game. But with Wolf not playing at his best, I think Wolf might be getting a little frustrated. Yeah, he did awesome last year, but that defense was bad. He and it still is bad. And also, I think the heart is out of Calgary here. It's just they know that there is a rebuild coming. They just know it. So I like the Jets money line and under 6.5. I did the same thing. I also took the Jets money line and Flames team total under 2.5. I took them both. So that you get at about the same price. So I took the under 6.5, a little more on the Flames and team total under, and that's about it for that. I got some props for this game. Go over to Perlo's NHL POW, and you can get there's a really good prop for this game. I'll throw out there. It's not my best bet, but it's a really good shot prop. So you can find it there.
The thing that's appealing about Alex's recommendation with Coleman is he's now on the second line for Calgary with Backlund and Coronado. So, like I said, and I did get one of their goals against Vegas, and they're going to need more from not only him, but everybody offensively. But it won't be easy with Winnipeg, other than Dallas, where they gave up 4 and they lost. They've won 4 straight, and in all 4 games, they've given up 2 goals or less. So it won't be easy to see if Calgary can get on track offensively here tonight against the Winnipeg Jets. All right, our last game of the night is the best game of the night, in my opinion, on paper. It's my Stanley Cup final prediction. That's right. I went with a Carolina-Vegas Stanley Cup final this year, and we've got the 2 of them hooking up tonight at T-Mobile Arena. We've got Vegas minus 115, home favorite, 6 the total. This could be the spot for Carolina to lose their first game. I'm not saying they will, but there are some things that concern me about Carolina. They've played great, and they've been without Jacob Slavin, their rock, their beast, their tower of power, their pillar of strength on the back end the last few games, and it hasn't mattered. Well, I shouldn't say it hasn't mattered, but they've found ways to win even without him. But now it's going to be the real litmus test for Carolina, especially at the back end without their horse, Jacob Slavin, who's still not going to return anytime soon, because you've played L.A., who's not great. They're not as good, in my opinion, this year. You played San Jose, Anaheim, the other than New Jersey was kind of a challenging opponent at home, but they faced a pretty weak schedule, a pretty light schedule, especially as far as teams with offensive firepower early in the season. Carolina still played great. Don't get me wrong, 5-0, but New Jersey, Philly, San Jose, Anaheim, LA, their first 5 opponents. Now you're going into the deep end of the water. You've got this gauntlet coming up starting tonight on this road trip. Vegas, Colorado, Dallas. All of them we assume Jacob Slavin is not going to play. This is going to test Carolina's defense here. And now there's no maybe Shane Goss to spare tonight as well for the Carolina Hurricanes, because he left that game against LA due to injury. He's a game-time decision. Actually, he's out. It looks like now they have officially ruled him out for tonight. So Some shakeups now at the back end where Keandre Miller's got to slide into the top pair with Sean Walker. Jalen Chatfield, Alexander Nikishin on the second pair. Mike Riley and Charles Alexis Legault now on the third pair for the Carolina Hurricanes. So just as you're facing by far the most dangerous, dynamic, offensive team probably you've played so far in Vegas, now you're really going to get tested on the back end. And I like Keandre Miller. Alex likes Keandre Miller. Alex took him to the longer shot to win the Norris Trophy this year. But this is a test now. You're going to have to fill those minutes and play top pair and shut down, hell of a group on the other side with Eichel and Marner and Stone and Barbashev and Dorofeyev. Not an easy task to fill the void left by the injured Jacob Slavin. And this could be the game. This could be the opponent. This could be the night where Carolina feels it finally. We really miss Slavin on that back end against a team like the Vegas Golden Knights, who have had no issues scoring goals, especially at home. You look at them at home this year. I know they lost to LA, but they scored 5, scored 6 against Boston, 6 against Calgary. They've scored 17 goals rather in 3 home games this year, the Vegas Golden Knights. So this is going to be the test here for Carolina's D. That being said, Carolina's own offense, you got the number 1 and number 2 teams, by the way, in goals per game in this matchup. Carolina's number 1, 4.6 goals per game this season. Vegas number 2, 4.33 goals per game this season for sure. So like I said, these are 2 teams that have had no issues finding the back of the net. Obviously, Carolina's played a little bit more consistently at the defensive end than Vegas so far this year. And I know Vegas finally played a great defensive game Saturday night in their home win against Calgary, but how much can you make a big deal of that? Calgary's struggling to score goals right now. So you can't go overboard giving Vegas blue line too much praise for shutting down Calgary. Everyone's shutting down Calgary, right now. So this is a great game. I can't wait to watch it. My gut's saying I think Vegas might hand Carolina their first loss tonight, but I don't want to go against an undefeated team, the way Carolina's been going. But I just get that sense Vegas could pick them off tonight. I'm sticking to just the total. We've talked about this. You're sick of hearing it. It's 9-1 as far as first period overs in Vegas home games October last year and this year combined. The overall first period over in October in Vegas games is even stronger. I think it's something like 12-2, 13-2.
12-2, yeah.
Just been incredible. So that's the bet. That's my favorite bet in this game. It's first period over. I'm on the over by Fecta. I'm on full game over as well, but I like the first period over best of all here in this game. I think definitely we're going to see all 3 Vegas home games this year have gone over in the first period as well. And I think this is where the adjustment hits Carolina's defense. I know we've survived without Slavin. Without him, we beat San Jose. Without him, we beat Anaheim. We shut them down completely. But then we played LA, a little bit more of a step up from San Jose and Anaheim, and suddenly we gave up 3 goals and we were hanging on at the end to win that game. And now this is when they feel it, I believe. No Slavin against by far, easily, best, most dangerous offensive team that they have played so far this year. And I think they'll struggle a bit more and give up goals. But I think Carolina scores too, because like I said, other than that Calgary game Saturday, has Vegas played a great defensive start to the year? I wouldn't say they have. So first period over and full game over for me here in what should be a heck of a game. We hope it lives up to the excitement level I have to tune into it. Alex, what do you think here? Carolina, Vegas.
Yeah, but it's going with that first period exacta. So that being the over 1.5. I got minus 130, and both teams to score at plus 165. I'm not going with the correct score. I did hit with that in Boston, Utah last night. That 1-1 tie at 550. I'm seeing plus 500 for that. But like I said, with this being kind of could be a back and forth game, we could see more than 2 goals here. So I'm just going with both teams to score in the first and the first period over 1.5.
And don't forget, it's not just Pietrangelo anymore. It's also Noah Hannafin. He's missed the last few games on the blue line for Vegas. So you got both teams missing 2 starting defensemen here for this game tonight. Perlo, what do you think? Carolina, Vegas.
Yeah, this is going to be one hell of a game. I like, of course, the first period over is just an instant bet here. And I like both teams to score as well. This is also, I like the over 6. And I am on the other side of you on as far as who's going to win this game, though. Basically, Vegas, who have they beat? Like, really, they haven't really beat anybody yet. And they've actually fought pretty hard to win some of those games against bad teams, against Boston.
That's a fair point. Their wins are Calgary twice, Boston, and San Jose.
And they've struggled in a lot of those wins.
Yep.
So this is the first game they have really had to actually play anybody. And you got a Carolina team coming in on a heater. Last year, I think they went like 12 games straight. When Carolina's on a heater and they're going, they're really hard to beat. I just think, and I agree with you though, this for most teams, this should be a flat spot. When you got Colorado coming up and you got Dallas right after that, this is a game where you probably are going to have a little bit of a hesitation or a little bit of a letdown. It's so in that way, it could be a Vegas spot. So with all of that, I do think Carolina wins this game. However, I do think Carolina wins this game in overtime. And I am going to go 3-3 exact score again and 4-3 exact score for Carolina. Also, I'm going to steal one from Alex, and I'm going to take Jarvis to score the goal in overtime. So I'm not putting, as far as the Carolina win, I'm not going to put a lot on that because, like you brought up a lot of really good points. This is also their first big matchup and all of that. I just think it is also Vegas's. And I haven't really seen a Vegas team that's like just rolling over anybody, but I have seen a Carolina team that has been rolling over. So I'm going to take Carolina to score in overtime, 4-3. That's what I have for that. Also, Jarvis over 2.5 shots is somehow plus 100. He's got 6, 7, 5. So Jarvis over 2.5 shots is a big one for me. And Blake points.
All right, there you go. Great stuff. So liking Carolina here to keep the undefeated start going is Perlo here in this one. A few props that I like here for the Carolina side. Mike Riley's going to get power play time, so he's worth a sprinkle. But the one I'm targeting is Keandre Miller, just because he's going to be, on the top pair with Sean Walker, minutes bump. He's going to get power play time. Keandre Miller for anything, as far as shots on goal, points, assists, even a sprinkle on the goal prop. I do think that's worth a look here in this game tonight. Jarvis has been great. Stankoven's had success against Vegas. Now, a lot of that was with Dallas, but something to keep in mind there. I'm going to go to one, too. The former player angle worked out swimmingly on Saturday for me with Connor Brown for New Jersey against Edmonton. I'm going to go to it with William Carrier tonight for Carolina against his old team. Remember, original member of the Golden Knights a few years ago. And now with Carolina. So let's see if we can strike that magic again with the former player angle. William Carrier, and you can get him at plus 800 to score a goal tonight. So there you go. Will Carrier. And of course, for Vegas, Brandon Saad is going to get maybe a look on the top line potentially here tonight if the lines are any indication. So there is value there. Whether he makes something of it is going to be the question. But he is playing with Eichel, who's been just, he's made everybody look good so far this year, Jack Eichel. So maybe you can get something out of Saad and Clocher, Barbashev, Dorofeyev, Hurdle, and Marner, which has actually really clicked since Bruce Cassidy put them together. So you can make a case for props involving any of those guys. All right, there you have it. Great stuff. Great show. We tried to zip along here with the late start, but appreciate you guys hanging in there with us. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already. And make sure you check out wizardsportspicks.com. We got 3 and 5 pick packages now to go with single game premium picks on the website on a daily basis. Make sure you check that out. It was a great football weekend. How about 4-1 with premium picks in NFL yesterday for yours truly? Nice. Great day, exciting, great stuff. 15-6 run in college football and NFL combined for me with Wizard Sports Picks premium picks going into tonight. So get on board, check it out. Great handicappers, me, Alex, Matt Robinson, and many others. WizardSportsPicks.com. And, of course, the Patreon page, patreon.com/Ice Guys, just $10 per month. The daily betting card will be posted before 6 p.m. Eastern today, and it's been a nice run. Bargain bin hit with Frank Nazar, first goal for Chicago yesterday for Alex. Great stuff there. goalie charts, new goalie charts just posted, by the way, on the page too from Alex. Totals charts, all our bonus content. We're going to have live betcasts exclusive to Patreon members later in the season. And, of course, our daily betting card. Sides, totals, player props posted each and every day on the Patreon page exclusively for Patreon members. So make sure you get to the Patreon page and sign up. Just $10 per month. Patreon.com/IceGuys.
Also, check out the Ice Guys store at iceguys.myspreadshop.com. We've got t-shirts, hoodies, caps, mugs, bags, you name it. We've got it with all our designs. You can get that right now at the Ice Guys store. That's at iceguys.myspreadshop.com.
Bargain bin special of the night and best bets coming up right after we hear from our great Ice Guys sponsors.
Wizard Sports Picks, featuring the finest handicappers in the universe. Sharp insights, trusted picks, and relentless results. We strive to help you become consistent winners. This is Wizard Sports Picks.
Kings and queens shop.
Check out all our sponsors, including Royal Cannabis at royalcannabisshop.com. 20% off with promo code IceGuys. Bargain bin special of the night. And once again, here's Alex in search of an encore from a winner with the bargain bin yesterday. Alex, what do you like for bargain bin special for Monday night?
Let's head up to Manhattan. And it's amazing that this is even a record that's been set in 2025. A team going 3 straight games to start the year at home without a goal. Just something that you think would have happened in like the 30s, something like that. But here we are, a Ranger team needing at least a goal at home. I believe they will get a goal at home. I believe they get a goal in the first period. I believe the first goal of the game comes from Alexis Lafreniere. You get him at DraftKings at 16-1. Shopping around, that is the best price available. I'm seeing anywhere between 13 to 15 in other shops. 16-1 available at DraftKings. So that's the price we're going with. Alexis Lafreniere to get the first goal of the game for the New York Rangers to finally score at Madison Square Garden for the 25-26 season. That's my bargain bin special tonight.
There we go. Go bold or go home. Alexis Lafreniere, first goal plus 1,600 on a team that has not scored a goal on home ice this year. There you go. That's bold right there. Alexis Lafreniere plus 1,600, first goal, New York Rangers. For Alex B. Smith with bargain bin special of the night. Burlow, bargain bin special.
Well, I don't think I can butter him up as much as I did and not go with him. So we're going to go with Shane. Or I say Shane. I knew I was going to do that. Josh Doan to score a goal at plus 33. Also, I recommend him scoring the first goal at plus 1,800. I got one more. I'm going to take that Sanheim assist and Couturier assist at plus 650.
Good stuff. Like it. All right. My bargain bin special. I'm going to go with 2 tonight on this Monday card. First one, I'm going to go to the debutant, I should say, for the Seattle Kraken up on the top line. Berkeley Catton, Seattle Kraken, plus 480, playing on the top line, filling the spot vacated by the injured Jared McCann with Beniers and Eberle on that top line tonight. So Berkeley Catton, Seattle plus 480. And my other one, and I wasn't going to go with this too, but hey, the former player angle got me off the schneid Saturday, and I'm going to go to it again with Will Carrier for the Carolina Hurricanes against Vegas, the team he once played for. William Carrier, Carolina plus 800. So there you go. Will Carrier plus 800 for Carolina, and Berkeley Catton plus 480 for Seattle for my 2 bargain bin specials for this Monday night. All right, best bets. Alex, what do you like for best bet?
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Head out to Vegas. That first period over. Like I said, Carolina has been a high-scoring team. They've been filling themselves on this road trip. Also, like both teams to score in the first period, but we're going to go with that first period over 1.5 minus 130 with the Canes and the Golden Knights.
All right, Carolina, Vegas, first period over for Alex B. Smith with his Monday best bet. Perlo, best bet.
I'm not going to stop or run, and I don't think Calgary can score the darn. So I'm going to go that Jets team total under in Calgary. And I got another one. I always give my shot prop out there. So I'm going to take that Jarvis over 2.5 shots at plus 100 for Carolina.
All right, there you go, Perlo, with a couple of best bets for him for this Monday night. And my best bet, it's going to happen every now and then, especially on the shorter card where it's going to be the same best bet that some of us have. And I'm going to the same one that Alex has. To me, it's because it's the clear best bet on the board. It's the bet that I've got the most money on. And it's the bet that obviously I should give out as best bet on the show. And that's the if it ain't broke, don't fix it play of the night. And that's Vegas. These first period overs at home have been unbelievable. Cashed again with Calgary on Saturday. That was Alex's best bet. It was my best bet the game before that when they played Boston at home. It just keeps on rolling. So Carolina, Vegas, first period over 1.5 minus 125. There are still some minus 125s out there with it, but shop around. Once again, like I said, it's been a great run with it. Carolina, Vegas, over 1.5 minus 125 first period for my best bet here for this Monday NHL card. Great stuff. Shout out to the chat. We're going to hype it up and promote it more later this week and including next week as well. But yes, we are getting closer and closer to Frozen Frenzy and our first Ice Guys live betcast of the season next Tuesday, 8 days away, Tuesday, October 28th, 6 p.m. Eastern. We are looking forward to it. The Frozen Frenzy is always a ton of fun. Games every 15 minutes. So we can't wait for that. 6 p.m. Eastern next Tuesday, our first Ice Guys live betcast of the season. Looking forward to that. Great stuff from Alex and Perlo. A reminder, the Ice Guys is live 7 days a week, Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern, Saturday and Sunday, noon Eastern. If you can't watch the show live, download the Ice Guys podcast in audio form on all major podcast platforms, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and more. Download the Ice Guys podcast when you can't watch the show live. For Alex B. Smith and Perlo, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Monday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. And we'll be back with you tomorrow, Tuesday, back to the regular start time, 2 p.m. Eastern, for another edition of the Ice Guys.